Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we're talking to EPCYA. Check it out. Oh, I always like when she says recording in progress.
I know,
yeah. Sounds like I'm in trouble.
So, hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking to Aaron, Julio, Jonathan, and Dustin of EPCYA. How are you guys doing, man?
Yeah,
Great. Awesome. Doing great.
Awesome. And we've got a fan, Tommy, the man from Slumlord Radio, which I always want to like slur that thing in. So how's it going, man?
I got my dog.
All right, excellent.
So, weather looks pretty good there in Stockholm, buddy.
It's pretty clear. I think it's nighttime though, or maybe it's daytime. Maybe it's
you're in the land of the constant sun, right? Right now, it's like 34 hours of sun or something like that. Yeah, I caught him right as awesome. So, thanks to Tommy from Slumlord, he told me about EPCYA, and I was like, all right, I'll check him out. You know, I trust Tom. I'll listen and see what this is about. So I listened to Metamorphosis, your album that I saw on Bandcamp, and I was like, holy shit. I mean, these guys are like, number one, it's really cool music, awesome. But then you guys are covering so many styles in rock. You got ska, punk, alt rock. There's progressive rock and soul on. And I'm sorry, you know, I want to learn how to speak Spanish, but I'm not super good at it. So there's La Última Vez, and then there's Dream, which have like that kind of soul, progressive style. So what got you guys wanting to? I mean, what was the spark that said, you know, we want to mix all these different styles together and record it?
I guess it's because we're coming from different places. I'm from Argentina. He's from Mexico, and he's from here. And then the other guy in the corner, he's from like the other corner of Mexico, pretty much. You know, like so. It's like we grew up with different styles of music. For me, it was more like cumbia and punk. That's what it was. A lot of ska, punk, cumbia. Yeah. That's how I grew up. And then I mean, how you grew up with the music?
Yeah, I mean, it was a mixture of many different things. I mean, it was always there was always rock. That was that constant. But you know, we all listened to many different genres, and that kind of reflects in our music. Definitely. I don't know, you guys.
Well, mine was just nothing but classical music.
I know you listen to country.
No country. It was all classical and Britney Spears all the time. All boy bands, non-stop boy bands.
Yes.
No, there was none of that. It was a mostly rock and actually mostly hip hop. My whole life was mostly hip hop.
Right. Cool.
It was rock and hip hop, honestly. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, same thing. A lot of the music that you wouldn't even want to hear, but because always through the neighbors or parties, it was all the original music, and the rock that was always heavily influenced by the bands from the United States, like Metallica, Megadeth.
No, he's a hardcore
metal.
The metal guy.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think I threw it in there, but metal is definitely in there.
Totally.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think it's, it's Hongo.
Hongos, yeah.
Hongo.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I heard people say they want to fight when they hear that song. It's like, I feel like you just got so much energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing that you guys do, which I think is very cool, you've got some songs that are in English and you have some in Spanish. And I was wondering, like, how do you determine what song you should sing in English or Spanish?
We don't have a particular way or a known formula. It's just
It's like, look, guys,
Yeah,
I made a song.
I made a song. It sounds cool. Let's play it. Pretty much.
I got this. So
yeah.
like, yeah, that's how pretty much. That's why our genre is like
Yeah.
everywhere. So
It isn't until recently that we started writing in English. Most of our songs were in Spanish album.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Just recently we started writing some stuff in English.
Well, you know, because I was going to say that I think Spanish lends itself better to. It has a more musical quality, like the actual language itself has that kind of. It seems to me like it would be easier to sing than English, where you've got that kind of percussive consonant thing as opposed to Spanish. Does that influence it at all, or you're just like, we should do some English songs?
it was you.
No, again, it was just a thing where like it would be nice to have a song in English. I mean, I speak English a little bit, anyways. It's not the best English in the world, but it's just something different.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So we kind of mentioned the song Hongo. So what is that song about? I'm totally curious.
I'm glad you asked.
Hongo Super A. I'm like, what is this about?
Well, that song, he brought the music to me, and then he brought the song to me, and he brought the music. Actually, he brought the music to me, and he said, "Write something to this." So, and it was when you did the song, it was probably like 6 months later that when we got the lyrics.
Yeah. It was so.
The lyrics came from a mushroom trip.
Awesome.
Yeah. I used to have some friends that they used to came me on all these mushroom things. Yeah, you should try this and you should try that. So I didn't know what to expect. So I grabbed the whole bag. It was like a bag like this big, and I eat it, the whole thing. I just eat it the whole thing, and then it was the worst thing I could do because I tripped for 14 hours.
Oh shit!
And I remember telling my mom to take me to the hospital because I couldn't know. I didn't know what's going on. I hear so many things, and I was seeing so many stuff. And it's pretty much the Hongos is a mushroom trip.
Oh,
he's pretty much telling you the story that he was going through during that trip.
That's the story of a mushroom trip.
Oh man! So I'm gonna have to get the lyrics and get them translated.
For sure. Yeah.
I gotta say,
it's probably not the whole trip, but I think we still had to do the second part of it.
Yeah. There's more material there.
There's a lot more material for it.
I was gonna say you could probably have a whole album.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, that's how Hongos become. And then we started playing the song, and then actually the screaming part came with a year later.
Oh really?
The second part.
Yeah, the second part was I start screaming and everything.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how to scream either. We were jamming and playing music. That's all. So.
Well, it sounds cool. It's almost like it's verging on death metal there because you're.
Yeah, well, it took me a little while to start screaming that way, but I mean, it wasn't in a practice. We were drinking, and I think we got drunk, and then we were playing that song, and the feeling of it is I started screaming of it. I started screaming, and then everybody. I remember everybody looking at me like, "Hell yeah, that shit sounds good." So after that, I started polishing, the screaming, the screaming, and now I can scream like nothing. People are like, "How do you do it, man?" I don't know. I just do it.
That's what that kind of reminds me of this story. Years ago, I met this band. They were called Youth Corps, and they were at that time they were kind of like a thrash band.
Okay.
Not necessarily death metal, and the singer had sort of kind of a nasally Dave Mustaine vocal, Okay. And then the next time I saw them, they were totally death metal. He's like, how the hell did that happen? He goes, we were just at practice, and I just started screwing around with it. Next thing you know, it sounded cool. I'm like, all right, well, hell yeah.
That's how the song
That's awesome. And the other one I was curious about is, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, is the La Ultima Vez. And if I'm,
La última vez. Is
that the last day?
Last time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I wrote that song too, like long time ago, and pretty much it was like a warm up for a practice session. You know, I was like, I would start jamming on that, and then I remember he jumped on it. And actually, he got a solo. He didn't have a solo for that song for like 2 or 3 years. He was just like improvising every time.
Yeah.
You know, right?
Yeah.
So
I normally come up with my solos right before doing a recording session or something like that. So that's what I usually say. All right, I have a solo now.
There you go. So what is the songwriting process like for you guys? Do you just like, I'm gonna guess it's kind of the old school way of get together, start jamming, somebody comes up with some riffs, and then work shit out from there?
It really depends. My writing style is a little bit different. I pretty much try to come up. Well, let me back up. When I wasn't writing lyrics, I was writing most of the music. So I was focusing mostly on the, all right, what is the guitars are going to do, what the bass is going to do, what the drums are going to sound like. But now I'm focusing more on the lyrics and letting these guys, just whatever they feel like, like contributing with and that kind of stuff. But mostly focusing on the lyrics, and that I kind of do on my own. When I feel the inspiration.
Yeah. So when you're coming up with lyrics, are you thinking? So I mean, because I gotta think of that. There's a time when you're maybe thinking of tunes that go with it, or do you listen to the music first and then come back and say, all right, I'm going to write some lyrics, or do you come up with the lyrical idea and say, all right, we need to find some music that fits this?
I think it's both ways. Sometimes, the lyrics present themselves first. Other times, I have an idea of a riff, and we work out the music, right? And then I come up with the lyrics for it based on how the music feels.
Other times, he just gets me drunk at a bar and then tells me to start talking, and then a couple weeks later, he comes with a song out of it.
Yeah,
I don't know if you caught on yet, but we kind of revealed it. Like most of our songs, or I guess most of everything that happens revolves around alcohol or some drugs.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
it's good, clean fun. Damn it.
Yeah.
So there's two questions here. The name, does it have any meaning, or how did you come up with the name for the band?
That one was actually, I think the story is,
it was a file name.
Yeah, it was a file name for a picture where pretty much the initials of everyone that was sitting on, it was a couch, right? The initials from left to right, and that came up with the EPCYA, which then we kind of took it as a sign of like friendship, right? It was a picture of a bunch of friends just sitting in a couch, and that kind of we took it as that as a sign of friendship.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty much it's an initial for the people who were sitting.
Yeah, exactly. It was like
everybody's nickname or name.
Yeah,
it was like initials for everybody, and then become like EPCYA. So they're like, oh shit, sounds good. So
yeah.
Well, I was racking my brain trying to figure out, like, does it mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's not that complicated. It was
extreme people of, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. No, it was the initials of everybody's first name or nickname, and it was just a picture, and it happened to be how they were lined up. I wasn't there back then. But yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. So, Fans with Bands is also not just about me asking questions, but I'd like to open it up to Tom to see if you have any questions for these guys.
How you doing, Tommy? No, I was always interested. That was always kind of the cool thing is I was always wondering how you guys did it, because again, I always thought all you guys' songs were all really fucking cool. How you guys, I don't know how they were structured. Like, I don't know. Do you guys just all get in the room together? Like, it sounds like you bring like certain ideas in, and then you guys just kind of hash it out once you guys all get together, like practice and stuff.
Or even sometimes like Odron will have an idea on guitar and he'll record that, and then before it comes to practice, he'll just send it to all of us and be like, all right, we get together and we kind of like, what did you come up with? Or sometimes they might even come up with like the full song for us with like a drum kind of idea, like through MIDI drums or whatever it is. He like creates some and then he writes the parts, and then we work on it and change it a little bit. But yeah, so
and it's a constantly evolving. Like a lot of the songs also, like they're not completely finished until we record them, because then we have more ideas that we put on at the recording too. So
right on, man. And you guys did but this album you guys did, I know, like at like a couple different studios, correct? And you did it yourselves as well.
We recorded some of the songs at, what is it, Cold War Studios?
Yep, Cold War with Rick Johnson.
Rick Johnson. Then we recorded some of the other ones with Benjamin Hunter at the Wolf Den.
And then the one song over Don.
Yeah, we did one song over at
the Potatoes.
Yeah, he changed. Don Carlisi, he has a studio, and I think it changed names. I think now it's called Golden Potato.
Oh, I heard
or something along that line.
Something potato.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some vocals were recorded at my house, and I did a lot of the mixing and the mastering.
Oh, okay, cool. So when you were mastering that was like done in your own studio then?
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, because it's got a good. I think the mix is really good. Yeah, came out.
Great.
Yeah,
See?
Yeah, because what I hate about some mixes is like the clarity's lost. You don't get each, articulated instrument very good.
It was going insane.
Yeah, it was a nightmare for me.
That was probably like the longest part of the whole CD. It was just him going back and forth. All right, everyone, listen to this. How you like it? And saying one thing, and then it changes everything. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna start over and just keep on going. And then he has to hate the songs right now because of the amount of time
I can hear every single detail on those songs, and it bothers me.
I remember going to the studio one day, like, hey man, you gotta do you gotta record some vocals. So I went there, and he was just trying to spare me that noise from the bass for like 2 hours. Like, I can't hear shit, man. No, it's there, man. Here, I'll play it again. I'm like, yeah, kind of. Did you don't hear that? Like, no. It's like, yeah, he would hear like everything. I was like, oh man, it was just.
I was going insane.
He was going insane.
Well, I think the attention to detail pays off because you get a good, nice, clear mix, and that's, I think, worth its weight in gold. So, very, very nice. Tom, do you have any other questions?
No, I mean, I'm sure I do. Let me think.
You can think about it, and I'll move on.
But no, because I thought everything, even though it was done at different locations, I mean, everything does. I don't know, like it sounds all very smooth. Like everything works together very well. Think so, Chuck? Like all the songs and everything sounds. It'd be very hard to tell that it was all like at different locations or at different times.
No, I could not tell, like, because again, I think that goes to the mix, because I've listened to some albums where you can tell, like, that song, vocals are hot and they didn't bring them down, and they recorded at a different studio, or guitars don't have quite the same crunch or the same, temper that you would expect. And I agree, man. I think that you guys did a great job with making that kind of seamless, so you don't know that, 3 studios were involved in the recording.
Then too, something that is unknown by a lot of people, I guess, is there's actually different musicians all involved. Like there was a different drummer for half the songs on there. One of the old members, and those were part of how many we recorded? I think 6 songs that time with him, and we only ended up using four of them, or three or four of them, just because they're songs that we don't play any, just out of respect for him when he left. So yeah, but we still use the ones that we still play and that I guess that you wrote, so he had to manage that into sounding, making everything balanced too. So
Very cool.
Yeah, and I'm not in any of the cities. I'm new, so
The best part is
So he's like, if it's all fucked up, it wasn't me. I wasn't.
I take credit for the ones to come.
Yeah, I was going to say, there you go. The best is yet to come there. There you go. So one thing I'd like to get that I think is fun is to get the origin story in terms of like, what was the first album that you bought? So, and it could be something that somebody gave you. So it doesn't have to necessarily be something you bought with your own money, but, some special gift, or it was something like you like, I've got $10, I'm going to go buy this album. So who wants to start?
Over there, you guys haven't talked.
Well, the first one I bought with my own money was Justice for All.
Oh, nice.
Metallica. It was somewhere around, I think, somewhere around, yikes, 91, 92.
Yeah, I would say it was early 90s when Justice for All came out.
Yeah, well, I didn't get it right off the oven because we didn't have money. And when we were in Mexico, I grew up in Mexico, so you had to get the imported version. So you would get the booklet.
Yeah.
And you would get the pictures, the lyrics. Otherwise, if you get the Mexican version, it would have just a piece of paper with the front, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would have to get extra lunch money to get the American version or imported.
Yeah. Cool.
Dude, that's a tough question. I guess that's a tough question. I hit my head a lot. Again, alcohol and head injuries. But I guess the first one that I can really remember buying would be like Eminem's The Marshall Mathers LP.
All right. Excellent.
Remember being like, oh, that explicit stuff. Don't worry about that, Mom. I wasn't actually old enough to buy it, but I tricked her into buying it for me with my money. So.
Nice. Nice.
How you gonna buy it? Because
for me, I think the first one that I bought was in Mexico too, and it was a band from Mexico who doesn't play anymore. Does Caifanes play?
Yeah, they're headlining. They're headlining.
Yeah, so it's a band called Caifanes. It's, if I had to describe it, how do you describe Caifanes? It's kind of like The Cure.
They
have some influences from The Cure.
They had a huge influence from The Cure. Yeah.
Yeah, so cool. that kind of vibe, and yeah, it was something different for me, at least, that hearing their songs, and really influenced me a lot.
Nice. Very nice.
The whole combination of the singer and the guitar player, how they came up with the ideas, and how they they were able to express all they did. It was really, really cool.
Awesome.
For me, I don't remember actually, like if it was I remember it was a cassette back then,
Yeah.
But I was I don't remember if it was a cassette from Race Against the Machine. Yeah, I actually don't remember the album. It was probably one of the first ones, or a band called name is Molotov.
Oh.
Mexican band. I'm from Argentina. So
nice.
It was like a Mexican band, and it was that band actually was like it's kind of like what we do here with this band, because they switch all the time on stage. Like the drummer like switch to the guitar and they start singing, and then the bass player switch to the guitar and start singing. So that's what we do here too on stage all the time. We are switching. I move to the guitar, he moves to the bass, he moves to the drum, he moves to the guitar, and like every song is like it's like having a different band. So this band Molotov, it was kind of like that.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think that was the first album, Molotov.
Very cool. And Tom, I can't remember. What was yours?
Oh shit! The first, oh man,
it's hard, dude.
Come on, I got like Michael Jackson. I think I was like the first like tape or something. The Easter Bunny brought it. But
yeah,
It's Michael Jackson,
Right.
dude. Who
You
ain't
can't go
gonna
wrong with
right?
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know.
Right,
Yeah,
man.
it's all good. And
Were you
so
doing the moonwalk?
I mean, I can't next time I see you guys. I'll do it.
Yeah.
These days, I got a little bit more if I start pulling that shit, you know? Don't pull any.
And how about first concerts? What was the first concert you ever went to?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Throwing that one out
For
there.
me, it was a old band from Mexico that was very influential in the rock and Spanish. They're called El Tri. And that was my very first concert. I was living in Mexico, obviously, and
Yeah.
so that was the first band I ever saw live. That was a
Awesome.
good show. Yeah.
Cool.
I think my first show ever was at a bar, Skeletones. Here's a small, like, all ages venue here in Grand Rapids that left like 10 years ago, but I guess they're actually rebuilding and coming back. But it was either a band called Flatfoot 56 from Chicago, or it was the Offbeats, which was like a ska punk kind of band locally here.
Yeah.
Both were amazing shows, but yeah, that's
Awesome. Very cool.
For me, as far as like famous musicians goes, I think it would be the one we went to with go see the Foo Fighters at Biennial.
Oh, okay.
Oh shit.
But
cool.
back in Mexico, I went to a few concerts, but some people that were not that famous, and it was more like a different. It was like folk music. I have
cool.
more of a folk background.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. I love folk music too.
I went to that concert.
I should take that back. I like some folk music if
Chili
it's
Peppers.
really, really well done.
No, it wasn't with you.
Nice. For me, I can't really. I mean, for me, it was like I grew up in the scene pretty much. Probably my first concert was when I was probably 10,
Oh,
and
shit.
I was in like one of those shitty bars in the neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
My sister, she was super big into the Ramones and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So she got a bunch of friends that play in bands. So I remember going to the bars when I was like 10, 11. You know, like my sister would like take me because their friend would take her. You know, I was like,
Right.
so my sister would take me, and then we just go and spend time listening to this thrash metal, hardcore punk bands. So I can't really tell what was my first concert, but I can say like my first real concert in like an arena or something like that. I think it was Red Hot Chili Peppers when they came here in Grand Rapids.
Oh
I
wow.
think they were promoting the
Californication.
no, I think it was the 2 CD album that they got.
Where they have the one Snow?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
that
double
double
one.
Stadium
Yeah.
Arcadium.
Yeah, that
That's the one. I think like that. I think that's what my first real concert. But I can't really tell you because I don't know. I smoke a lot of
That's
pot.
awesome, man. That's so cool that your sister was taking you to that stuff. That's great. Tom, how about you, man? What was your first concert?
My first one, my folks took us to like Van Halen at, I think it was DTE or Pine Knot. It might have been Pine Knot, but we put our dog to sleep that day, and then like it was wild, man. Some dude like pulled hands down and stuff like that. You know?
I remember that now that you started saying that again. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that story.
It rained. It was like Our Lady Peace played, and it like rained, and then like people were falling on the hill. Some dude passed out in a blanket. Kind of like the drummer EPCYA. You kind of
Good times. Good times.
Oh man.
So if you guys could play anywhere in the world with any other bands, where would each of you like to go?
Oh, fuck.
And who would you play with? Who would you like to jam with? So who wants to take it?
I like to open for Caifanes. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Tour Mexico, that would be great. Like going back, that would be just so special.
Yeah, for me too.
Awesome.
Playing with your idols.
Yeah. Awesome. Where in Mexico would you like to play? Is there any particular place like Mexico City or some where you grew up?
There's a big festival in my state called Cumbre Tajín, which is it's an archaeological zone where the pyramids are and all that.
Oh yeah.
And they do this. It's kind of a festival that is all weekend long. It's a 3-day fest. I saw this band Caifanes there. I think it was the Jaguares, which they morphed into a different band. Now they're back to the original. I saw them play there, and it's a huge stage. And you just fantasize when you're in the audience, like, I can imagine playing there. Yeah. So that would be, for me, a place I would just like imagine. Like, that would be great.
Awesome.
Yeah, plus the whole scene, right, with the archaeological things in the background, and the whole vibe is just, that would be pretty cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Well, I'll take Widow Fest in Chicago, though.
Yeah, totally.
All right. How about the rest of you guys?
For me, is I don't think it's like where or like where I play. I think it's for who. You know?
Cool.
Like, I think for me it'd be nice, like, to go back, to go back to my country and make a big ass concert, for my people over there. Like, this guy made it or something like that, But the real, I think for me, the real dream is to leave it one time at least, like go big one time and see like what is like be backstage before I don't know, like 12,000 people concert, and like the whole process of backstage, sound check, the whole like what the biggest band do, I think that's my biggest dream, to leave that. What would be to leave something like that, like the big stage.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Pretty much that. I don't care where.
What band would you like to play with?
I think it would be Molotov, the band that I was telling you earlier, because it's super influential on me.
Awesome, that's cool.
Yeah, and then I think all Latin America knows them, so it's a huge band.
Yeah, big energy.
Yeah.
How
our friend actually got to open up for them last year, or the year before. That's crazy. Awesome.
And Dustin.
Oh shit, I got kind of drawn a blank, but I really think one band that would be awesome just because of how long they've done it and how they kind of created a whole scene and how they still are around would actually be Metallica.
Oh yeah.
Because like, I guess in rock it doesn't really get much bigger than them or that. So
yeah,
I don't know. Even if it's like, all right, you guys get a 5-minute set. And it'll cost you $1,000. It's like, all right, done. Let's do
it.
But no, I mean, I don't really have anywhere in mind, but I would love to travel. So I would say somewhere over in Europe. Like, let's say in Moscow, Russia. Just because of it, like, just because of how crazy shit is over there. Like,
yeah.
So it's like, out of like all the places no one ever gets to go, let's just go do it there.
No shit. Yeah. They're Poland, places where people just don't go, you don't hear like a big story about this, playing, because everybody goes to, well, not everybody. I've never been there to play a show,
actually,
but UK or stuff.
It's pretty big in Russia.
No.
Yeah, they are pretty big over there. They're like completely Latino. They don't speak no. Yeah, they got some English in, right?
Oh,
yeah, because they got a white guy playing with them too. Actually, he's from here, right? From Michigan.
I mean, the drummer.
Really?
Well, most of the drummer, I believe, is from Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, I know that.
I just changed my mind. Instead of Metallica, let's go with Rammstein. Because just honestly, I just want to go see them so much. Like opening up for them would be cool because they just put on one of the coolest fucking shows. I had tickets to go see them in Chicago last year, and the pandemic ruined that.
Yeah.
And then they moved it to this year, and then the pandemic ruined it again. So now it's next year. The person who has my tickets I don't talk to anymore. So
oh no.
Yeah. So yeah, to make up for that money I spent on tickets that I don't get now, how about I get to open up for them?
Yeah. Dad, look.
Oh, we got another fan.
Oh. Oh man, that's awesome. So you know, I was curious, like what was the like, was there a particular person or time in your life when you said, you know, I'd really like to start making music and play an instrument and make my own music? Was there somebody in your life that, or something, or an event that triggered that for you guys?
I remember the specific moment actually. For me, I mean, I bought a bass when I was like probably 12 years old. Never learned how to play it until I was probably like 20, 21 or something like that. Started playing music, and it was because of a school talent show.
Oh, cool.
Because I remember this group of friends trying to put something together for a school talent show. And they were struggling so much to play the guitar part. And I was like looking at these people like, God, damn, it doesn't look hard at all. So let me try. I never played a guitar before. So I go, and in less than 5 minutes, I was playing the first 3 chords of it. You know, I never played guitar before. So I was looking at these people, like, wait, you guys can't play this. You guys took classes for this. And then, and I liked it. So I was like, okay. Went to buy a guitar on Walmart, I remember. It was the first act guitar.
Or the same one?
With my fingers. With my fingers. But I learned to play, and that guitar. And that's how pretty much like said like, oh, I want to do this. This is what I want to do.
That's cool.
And now he's a bass player.
Now I'm a bass player. Yeah, I started with the guitar and now I'm a bass player.
Well, you know, actually, I wanted to be a bass player because I play guitar, but I wanted to play bass because I was like a huge like Chris Squire and Geddy Lee fan, and I was like, oh, but then I was like, I can't even fucking do this. Like the finger, I was lost. So I'm like, well, guitar, it's got, you know, smaller strings. Maybe I can do that one. So.
Wow. Yeah.
All right. Who wants to go next?
For me, it was my cousin in Mexico that his uncle had a lot of background in like playing the acoustic guitar, the classical guitar, and like the harp and like a bunch of other instruments. And he learned a few songs, and I was like, oh man, that seems so cool. And so he taught me how to play guitar, and then I took it from there. I learned a bunch of chords.
Nice.
Learned how to play the electric guitar. It wasn't until I met this guy that I learned to play the electric guitar, which was a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was my cousin that helped me.
Yeah, he used to play acoustic guitar with no pick, just
with the finger.
With the fingers.
Oh yeah.
We used to call him Crazy Fingers. Because we used to like do a solo with these 2 fingers, like it was for us, you know.
Now that's my buddy in another band.
Yeah. Now, that up to his buddy.
Andrew Kramer and Studying Scarlet, who's actually our next show. We're playing with them. But yeah, that guy, he similar, like he only plays guitar with his fingers. He refuses to use the pick, and it was because when he learned guitar in high school, there was this other guy, a friend of mine, who was a great guitar player, and then that was just like, oh man, you're gonna have to play with the pick if you ever want to do this. So Kramer was like, fuck that.
Yeah.
Now to this day, he still just shreds harder than most with just like it's insane to watch him. He's a blast.
Jeff Beck does not use a pick, and Mark Knopfler does not use a pick, and who's the dude? Derek Trucks does not use a pick. So there you go.
There's actually another guy, the guy from Phantom 19.
Oh,
He
yeah.
also doesn't use a pick.
No?
No?
Just shit.
There you go. Boom.
Classical guitars.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they not only play, they shred the guitar, and they do some crazy I don't know how they do it. They do some crazy harmonics with their thumbs.
With their thumbs. Oh,
Yeah, I don't
man.
know how
Yeah.
they do it.
I envy people that can do that because I'm again an uncoordinated son of a bitch. So Dustin, how about you, man?
All right. So it was the precise moment was 10:57 on a hot August night. My GPS coordinates were no, it was I was messing around with like guitars as a young child and never got any good at them whatsoever.
Mhm.
But I think in probably in middle school, I was like listening to System of a Down. And that
Nice.
for some reason I was like listening and it inspired me. So I went and bought that shitty first that guitar from I think Myers or Walmart. And then just fucked around with that for a while and got into reading tabs and stuff. And then high school, I always had one, messed around with it, but I was like never took the time to practice because fuck practice, I guess. So I never got good at it. And then I was like, fuck it, and bought drums because I was like, I can hit things, I guess.
He's awesome at it.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
I think it was I kind of gave up on music and then I listened to Rage Against the Machine. And I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. So then bought the drums and kind of started learning to play that. And my very first thing that I ever played was a high school show music or like a high school talent show.
Oh, cool.
And I didn't even go to that high school, but some of the other people did. And then we did we covered Killing in the Name of but in a high school audience setting. So it's like, of course, we get to that one part. It's like, all right, we better not sing this. But you can tell that the crowd was like, they knew exactly what song what was going on.
There's some kid getting up, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me.
Yeah, exactly. Like we could tell that they wanted to yell it, but we were like, oh. But also that the people in charge of the thing knew that it was they didn't know the song, or else they never would have agreed to let us play it.
They would. Yeah. If they had known, they would have said no.
Yeah,
Just sit your ass down. All right.
New guys
I didn't know you were going to ask a different question.
No.
For me, it wasn't until high school because I grew up with my family. There was always instruments around, but they were all nylon string instruments.
Yeah.
My friends were musicians making a living out of music, but it was all traditional music with harps and all nylon string instruments.
Yeah.
I always liked rock, and what attracted me was distortion. So I never bothered picking up a guitar or anything until in high school. My friend started playing. There was an old nylon string guitar in the classroom, and he started playing rock songs on that nylon string. And to me, like, oh, you can do that with that? That's when I picked it up and started learning. Because
Awesome.
like, I don't know, it didn't hit me before. I didn't have interest until then, and that's how I started learning.
Awesome. That's very cool. Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to talk with me on Fans with Bands. I've got one last question. It's super controversial, so hopefully it won't split the band or anything. But the question is: pineapple or no pineapple on pizza?
No pineapple. No pineapple. No pineapple.
No main ingredient.
It should be pizza and a little bit of pineapple and a little bit of pizza.
Yeah, with a big couple of slices of pineapple.
That's what I do. I put the pizza on my pineapple. So pineapple doesn't go on pizza, but pizza goes on pineapple.
Yeah,
People have just been getting. It's like people aren't saying it's bad together. It's just that you're doing it wrong.
No. So
we're splitting half.
Yeah, no.
splitting down the middle. That's totally
no
good.
Pineapple team. pineapple tea.
Pineapple.
Yeah,
tea.
we're gonna start throwing punches pretty soon.
I'm legit on no pineapple tea.
The only
I'm not
pineapple
a fan
one
of
is in my
pineapple.
drink.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love pineapple, just not on my pizza.
You asshole.
Yeah. You know any guitar players? We gotta kick this one out now.
You can go play with pineapple.
Well, I have heard that, you know, if you do like pineapple, the pineapple and jalapeno is pretty good. So
Sounds good.
Yeah,
there you go.
nothing wrong with that.
Tommy, how about you, man? What pineapple? No pineapple.
Tiebreaker.
Man, I don't know. I could go either way. Really. I don't know.
Some big push.
Fucking indifferent, you know.
So what would be your preference if you had a choice?
Probably not. I'd probably go. Yeah, man.
There you go.
But shit.
Right, you're not gonna let a pizza go to waste, right?
I mean, you're gonna always take
No.
out the pineapple.
Ever been drunk at 3 in the morning and that's all there is when you open the fridge? You need anything.
There you go.
Took the pineapple.
Yeah, you take the pineapple.
Awesome. All right, well, guys,
Save it for dessert.
yeah. Guys, thanks again. So happy to have you guys on Fans with Bands. Hopefully you'll come out my way to Ann Arbor or
Can't wait.
Detroit.
Yeah.
We'd love to if anything pops up. If anyone hears it or you hear anything, get us.
All right.
Get us going.
Invite us, please.
Yeah.
We want to travel.
Make sure it's during the coldest, winteriest night, because that's what always happens.
Yeah,
So,
always.
last
Exactly.
time we went to it's the Pontiac. We went through the worst blizzard I've ever seen in my life.
Fun.
We're just three of us in a little Honda Accord.
Honda Civic, dude.
The
Smaller one.
Yeah, it'll be
But, I mean,
January
it was-
25th.
I don't remember much.
Is that the picture on there?
Awesome.
All
All right, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
I'm gone.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks to Aaron, Julio, Jonathan, Dustin, and Tommy for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. You can't go wrong with the rocking grooves of EPCYA. Check out their Bandcamp and Facebook pages to pick up their music and see when you can catch their next show. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.